We're not live. Down yonder. Give me a shout.
Test 1 2 3.
Testing.
You're gonna have to put it in front of you if you're gonna talk.
Test 1 2 3.
Beautiful.
How many
Testing,
times is
1, 2,
George gonna
3.
yell at
Hopefully you're
Rocco to
good.
get in front of the microphone?
Checky.
Good.
This
Kill
is
that fan back there. And then I just want to try this. Just the hair. Because Rocco is half in, half out. So
I'm good with that.
half in the bag.
Half in the back.
half in the
Half in
bag.
the frame.
Testing. Greg Schultz.
So
It's
you're
a
saying just
medium.
the,
It's
just
a
the tip?
medium.
Half in, half out? Just the tip?
Jim Trensky. Welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
Jim Trent.
About to fire.
What are we
this up.
watching? Are you watching Discord or Facebook Live or what do you? Who's
I'm on
monitoring what?
Facebook Live, so
I'll
if
be
you
on,
guys
I'll
could.
go on
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
All right, ready? Let's fire it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast. I am your host, Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry, and with me tonight,
Worshipful Brother Joe.
Worshipful Brother Ken. Worshipful Brother Jack.
Brother Rocco.
and we are here. We had a guest coming up here that we got bailed on, but that's all right. He's at work, can't come up. We were going to have the Widow's Sons Motorcycle Club, which is a Freemason motorcycle club, come up, and they were going to do. He was going to tell us all about it. But fell through. He got stuck at work, so we're going to improvise from here. We have a bunch of things that we talk about on Discord and stuff. I'm sure we'll find something to entertain you. I promise.
Before we get started,
I
can vouch for almost everybody here being a member of the podcast. However, the brother next to Worshipful Brother Ken, I cannot vouch for.
Can any brother about the podcast vouch for the brother next to Worshipful Brother Ken?
It's been a very long time.
You know, you take a little hiatus and you catch all the shit.
See,
Well,
so it's no surprise that we've gotten in a little bit of trouble in the podcast, right? With swearing and stuff like that, which is fine. Granted, we talked it out with Grand Lodge and everything. But I'll tell you, the episode after we got in trouble, Jack, poof, gone. Word from him, doesn't answer his cell phone, not answering text messages, can't find him on Facebook anymore, deleted his Instagram.
that's it, Jack. You come.
All of a sudden, Shepherd Salem becomes a closed community group. Like, you can't be part of it anymore. You need to answer 15 questions. Do you have anything to do with the podcast? No. What podcast? Okay, you're in. Like,
Had to cut ties until we knew it was safe.
it's
very brotherly things.
So
Now we
it's
know.
a very brotherly
Now
thing.
we
I was
know.
going to say. So you let all the rest of your brothers up here burn
no.
before you.
No, that's not
All
why I
right.
disappeared.
Rafferty is suggesting the shock collar.
Yes.
Get ready, you guys.
I believe
got the
a
shot collar?
penance needs to be paid.
I think a
Yes.
penance needs
You
to be
must
paid.
atone.
And
for your sins.
me being an ordained minister, I think I should deliver that penance.
And a retired monk.
And a retired monk. I'm the holiest person here.
After a weekend.
I am the closest to God that we have.
Exactly. And a former member of the Little Rascals. Yeah. Just.
And hey, it's mother.
I had that one in the pocket for weeks.
I apologize in
Pocket
advance for
of your Garanimals that you're wearing over there.
everything's going to hell a little early.
The He-Man.
We got to keep you guys entertained. So,
Wait, so which one am I? Am I like Froggy?
Yes, you're right.
I'll let the listeners decide. They're watching live, so they'll let them fire it in. All right. So before we do Jack's penance for disappearing, we have some new followers on the podcast, and we just recorded a commercial, and we literally laughed our asses off for the last half hour, which is why we're delayed. And when you hear the commercial, it'll all make sense. Rocco pulled an absolute clutch move in the commercial, and it was an ingenious idea, and it hit a home run when we finally recorded it and put it all together. It was perfect.
Rocco for the win.
Rocco for the win, definitely today.
Thank you very much.
I have to give credit where credit's due. That was funny. All right, so new likes on the Facebook page, and we had quite a few of them, actually. The last one we did was Guillermo Alejandro Herrera. We also did Henry Whitner, Matthew George, Rodney Tyndall, Stephen Baker. I think we've done all these, but I'm going to keep throwing them out there anyway. Matthew Gonzalez, Jason Mills, and then we go back the other way. Martin Bates, Ryan Nordstrom, our worshipful master who decided to finally like the podcast. He's another one that was running and hiding. It's all right. It's all right. Let us all burn. It's fine. It's all good.
Who ate pepperoni?
Who had pepperoni?
I have not had pepperoni.
I have not had pepperoni.
Smell the
Might have had some
pepperoni, bro.
sausage.
Freaking go. What? Let me continue,
Oh,
then.
Coming from Fairfield?
Beth Piper, who is actually Beth Piper, who is we're not going to get into that. We're leaving that alone. Beth Piper, who is actually worshipful brother Earl Ebert's family member.
Oh, great.
Mark Kellett, Jared Schoos, Justin Rao, which we talked to, and he gave us. I'm going to give him another toast hit on his own in a second. Christopher Kelly, Gunther Hughes, who is now also, and he's also going to get his own toast as well because he just joined Patreon earlier today. And Castillo Roderick Jr. So all the new likes, and we are up to 290. And let me tell you, it blew up this last week. Which, you know what?
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, I know. Again, we're not as big as other podcasts, but we're getting one hell of a cult following. And if you're on Discord, that is freaking hysterical. This last
It's
couple
totally
of weeks.
worth it. Oh my God.
Oh,
Discord
my
has
God.
gotten so much fun.
As a man of science, I can tell you that correlation does not prove causality, but I will say that over the next 2 weeks, things have picked up.
Yes, they have.
And the interaction front on social media.
Absolutely.
And the only thing I can correlate with that is the absence of a certain worshipful brother co-host.
That's right.
Now you're taking shots at me. Now you're taking shots at me.
You know I love it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You know, it's a little thing called redirection. Bounty hunter in Greece.
Bounty hunter.
Sending a bounty hunter in Greece.
Yeah, I paid my dues for that one.
Yeah, you did. That was fun.
But let's toast them. Brethren, right hand to arms.
To arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire. Good fire. Fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
All right. Next one.
That one went up my nose a little.
One burned. I'm not gonna lie. All right. We had two recommendations actually. I gotta give another brother a shout out. Thomas Little, who likes the podcast and gave us a recommendation. But first, we're gonna start with where is he? Joe Hatcher. Down to earth, real guys who you can listen to. I appreciate the laughs and education, guys, and challenge you to keep this podcast as entertaining as you have. I binge listened to all 56 episodes, one of the few podcasts that have kept my interest. And we hope to continue to keep your interest.
That's a
Stay
glowing
tuned.
review. That's awesome.
Certainly try.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We also have Thomas Little. I enjoy this podcast. It is one of the best ones I listen to. Again, thank you very much. Justin Ruha wrote in. I cannot find it, though. See, here's the problem with this, is that Rafferty also looks into this, so I don't know where he went. But either way, we're going to toast him anyway. Justin wrote in not too long ago, and I think he did I can't seem to find it. Maybe one of you guys can help me out.
Looking for it, boss.
Yeah, if you guys help me out, there is another Freemason recommendation. But anyway, these three brothers gave us recommendations, so we're going to toast them. And this time, I would like Worship Brother Ken. Lead it.
Yeah, very well. Brethren, right hand to arms.
Arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire. Good fire. Fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. We got one more to do.
Boy.
And one more. We're doing our punishment today.
Welcome back, Jack.
Switching the beer.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. For now.
There's one more I had. And I can't seem to find it.
Thomas Little.
Sorry, we got like five guys.
I'm gone.
Danny Collins listening in from Portland Airport tonight. Sweet.
Portland, Oregon, where all those freaking Antifa protests are.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's some
Have a
kind of
safe flight.
Oh, man.
crazy thing going on out there.
So a couple things I want to just chime in on. I've actually this Facebook Messenger has been blowing up all week long, and I apologize for some that I haven't got to. Rafferty has been kind of grabbing the horns by when I'm missing them or when I'm falling short. But we got Matthew Gonzalez. Nice shot. I walk right first. I walked head first into that one, like a kitchen counter, right?
It's
Head
more,
first.
it's more like a tippy toe for you.
Matthew Gonzalez. Hey George, I just heard the podcast today and work. At work. I live in Hesperia, California. So glad to have you.
Cool.
Love the brotherhood, the honor. Hard to find that nowadays. He actually sent me a nice link. It was Samurai Masonic Philosophical.
Philosophical?
Is that like the philosophy of falafel?
Is that like something you put hummus on and put in a little?
Can I take
Eat
a
up?
little shawarma with that?
Fire away. Go on. I walked into it again. I walked into it again. Philosophical Society.
There we go.
So as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, here we go. But it basically talks about the samurais and similarities to the Masonic type.
Oh, you mean the code? The
Code of
codes that
honor.
The samurai
Pretty
live
much.
by and, yeah.
He said,
Parallels
trying to be
there.
the best man I could possibly be. I tried to lodge 634, but got no answer. Should I just walk in the doors? I don't recommend that during a meeting night.
Nope.
He said Bushido is like Washington's virtues. And I think that's the code of conduct. I've
Yeah.
never heard of it before. But I said,
Should do a little bit of research.
very intriguing. I'm going to look into that. I definitely will. Thomas Little is a brother out of... He is out of Colorado. He's Prince Hall. He's part of the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Colorado. And we had a nice conversation back and forth. And hopefully he's on listening as well. I told him, reach out anytime. We'll give you as much as we can, and we'll help you out as much as we can. Let's see here. Gunther Hughes needs a toast. Gunther actually joined Discord, Patreon, and Discord. We actually have a couple others who did as well. We're not going to go down the whole list, but Gunther reached out. He said, I love the podcast. Where do I sign up for Patreon? And within moments, he was a member of
Awesome.
Patreon and member of Discord. Worshipful Brother Joe, let's lead the toast for
All
him.
right. Right hand to arms.
To arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire, good fire, fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. Beautiful. If there's anybody I missed, call me out on it, and I will definitely shout you out next episode. I am prone to miss things. I drive all day. I'm not able to see all my messages. Raph picks up the slack for me, and that's that. There was actually a very interesting picture circulating on the internet,
Oh, boy.
and
They
actually-
do that, don't
Yeah.
it was actually passed to me by Worship Brother Joe over here. And I didn't know that we actually already had a celebrity on our show.
Besides Joe.
We do.
We do. And I'm going to show this to the listeners first so that they can see, people watching live, so they can see this.
they? It's you,
And
Rocco.
we'll post
isn't
it up on the page a little later.
I think it's someone from the Lollipop Guild.
No, it's better than that.
What do we got here? There's a delay in broadcast here.
He's leaving us in suspense.
Okay.
And, I didn't know you knew how to sing. Rocco, I didn't know you knew how to sing.
Oh, that is Rocco.
It is.
I believe it's
Who the hell is it?
Did you go by a different name at some point?
Nope.
Osborne?
Rocco Osborne.
Rocco Osborne?
Jack Osborne.
No, Rocco Osborne. As in, you look like Ozzy Osbourne. Now, let me tell you how this all started.
As in you're as incoherent as Ozzy
Yeah.
Osbourne.
So let's start out how this conversation started with me and Joe.
Yes.
This conversation started with me and Joe is that sometimes when Rocco talks, I have to edit a little bit of him because sometimes your speak is incoherent. So
It's
we
not
had
as bad
said,
as Ozzy, though. Come on. In his defense, it's
Rocco starts off with this. Yeah, so we just thought that it'd be funny to make. Listen, I don't want to hear anything from anybody because my face has been posted on Boba Fett, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I mean, everything you could possibly think of in the community group and on Discord.
True.
If you want to see him, sign up for him.
True.
But so I don't want to hear
Here's the funny
anything
thing.
out of here.
Here's the funny thing.
We're gonna put subtitles
I
on
might
you.
do it on purpose. It's better
Right.
to be not understood.
So,
Sometimes.
all right. So let's see here. We have a bunch of people signing on here. So, all right. We're going to go into Washington's rules of civility. Actually, Washington's rules for Freemasons, life and in lodge. And we just finished up our last one. And our last one was labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. It's a good one. Joe's got no conscience. He
I was
doesn't
going to
have
say, I have no soul, so
no
I have
soul,
no
so you
conscience.
can't have a
Actually, the
conscience.
monk said I did have a soul.
So,
Why is it a little spark?
well, I don't know.
Good
question.
Ask Washington.
Good.
All right.
Just gonna bubble on
You're gonna have to ask Washington.
Because he had George in mind.
All right. Moving on. All right. We are now in before lodge meetings. This is the section of before lodge meetings. Number 042. Let thy ceremonies and courtesy be proper to the dignity of his place with whom thou converses, for it is absurd to act the same with a clown and a prince. That is to say, speak and act according to whom you are speaking. Don't be a fool in front of a police officer, and don't be stiff at a party.
That was literally in there, police officer?
I think that was an interpretation of
That is, when I say that is to say, that is their literal that is their interpretation in the book.
Okay.
So speak and act according to whom you're speaking. They used the don't be a fool in front of a police officer. We're not getting into the Fairfield thing that happened in Fairfield,
no,
Connecticut.
let's not do that.
You can Google that
my
on your
gosh.
own.
Yeah, so
We have
anybody that's not from the local area, Google search Fairfield, Connecticut senior citizens,
Yes,
and
you'll
yeah.
fully understand.
Don't do it.
And I also just want to say we do have a brother who is a public servant down there. We're not going to name names because they might not want their profession known, but they were privy to this.
Again, Google it.
We're going to Google it.
Fairfield, Connecticut,
Google it.
senior citizens.
Funny as hell. Oh, and we have brother Don Matichek joins, and he says, "Yo, mofos, that's right. Respect the police authority."
Respect the authority.
You will respect my authority.
You got it, Cartman.
I think the cat's out the bag now.
Yeah, you pretty much responded.
We were going to leave it alone.
But anyway, as far as that
Anyway.
virtue is concerned, I think we can all probably handle that. I mean, unless you're completely socially inept, you always speak to
I'll
somebody.
be right back.
Oh, I thought you were saying we could handle what happened down at the beach.
Oh, no, that absolutely.
I don't think I
Years
could
of
handle that.
therapy. No.
Joe, you probably could have been involved.
Oh, gee.
Could've
It
been.
might take 85 years of therapy to solve that.
But I think in general, we speak to people the way they're supposed to be spoken to, right? Like if you speak to your manager, you're going to speak to them different at work than you will to
George.
a child, like a school child or something like that, your
I
own
think-
kid.
I
Like,
think-
I'll put that in your pocket.
I think we take it for
Standard
granted
operating
that
procedure.
maybe
In my
some
pocket.
people don't have that,
that
that
ability, that sensibility.
Yeah, and no, I'm not. I'm not thinking of myself when I say these things. I'm just saying, like, you know what? You don't see that. You don't see
The
a lot
Ozman
of times
speaks.
you see people talking to people. Yeah.
You're disrespectful.
Hey, Rocco. Everyone gets picked on. Get used to it. All right. So, Jack,
George.
hold up the little device that's in your hand. Okay. So we know as Masons there are Masonic penalties for turning against your brothers and leaving them to basically burn while you get away scot-free.
Absolutely.
I don't want to cover that. That's
Fundamentals.
not why I stopped coming. So I don't want anyone else.
Our
to think it.
perception.
The time for
Yeah,
excuses
I know
is
you're just-
over.
We had a
just
Masonic
presenting
trial
this
in your
fact.
absence.
We had a podcast Masonic trial
Sure
in your
did.
absence. So we all agreed that this is why you ducked away.
It was
So,
unanimous.
It was unanimous. There was no
Perception is reality.
perception is reality.
This is not a democracy.
There's not a democracy. There was a 2/3 majority.
No, it was
So-
unanimous. It was
It was
unanimous.
pretty, I'm just saying we had better than a 2/3 unanimous.
Absolutely.
So I need you to hold that up in your hand. I need you to put your hands on the pro. No. Leave them on.
No,
Leave them on.
yeah, leave the rubber on.
All right.
The rubber is what keeps you from dying.
Yes,
Don't take
the rubber actually, it even says in the instructions, do not take the rubber off because it will cause stinging irritation. But I just want to say that this is all done in brotherly love and
One shot, though, right?
and what?
We're just going to take one shot at him.
Yeah.
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 I was about
Listen,
to say each, but
it's
no,
it's
we're
just
not.
it's not working.
Got that
You
jack.
turned it off,
No,
didn't
I
you?
didn't. There's a light on it.
May I examine the device?
I don't even
Ken,
know
try it out. See if it's
The
working.
device of retribution. It is blinking.
No.
Do I have to put it in my hand? Is this a joke? Are you
No, I'm not. No, it's really not working. I don't understand why it's not working. It's sending the signal.
Was it charging?
Come on. It was charging the whole time.
There's enough sweat in my hand.
How close do you have to be? I mean,
It should.
the sweat should
Should we
make
have
it
him
operate.
stand in
Help
a
it.
bucket of water and do it?
Is he immune to this or something?
He's
What
gonna
is
put his
this?
feet in
Not
the
gonna be the
bucket
first
and
time
get
it's shot.
Hold down the power button. Let's try it like that. Hold down the power or press the power button.
Unless it's flashing.
So
because the
anticlimactic.
battery's dead. Yeah,
I know.
This is, we'll edit all this out. We'll get it in post. It'll be fun.
I don't get it. All right, whatever. Give me the damn
Let me
thing.
try it.
We'll be good.
You put it in your hand, George. Oh, now it's beeping.
Oh,
Now it's
yeah.
beeping.
There was a beep there.
There was a beep.
Yeah, it's on now.
All right, well,
Put it in
put it
your
in your hand.
Would you like it back?
No, whatever.
Nothing? Not even a tingle?
Really?
All right, I'll have
Maybe
to figure
it's
it
just
out.
Jack. Maybe that's.
Give me the damn
Maybe
thing
he's
back.
not human.
Maybe it's.
Joseph Schultz says-
Maybe he really is a ghost.
Joseph Schultz says, just kick him in the balls.
Screw this technology. This is not working.
But anyway,
This is
wouldn't
not what
happen with
Macy's
paintball
did
guns,
back in the
per se.
day.
yeah, I don't understand why it's
The
not working.
podcast gods are in your favor.
Yes.
Because they know the truth.
We,
See, we got a light to it. Look at this.
I don't think we can punish him twice. Like
No, it's like
it's like the guy in the electric.
No, the
chair.
guy
It's like
gets
double
like,
jeopardy,
he gets
right?
off. He gets off.
It's like
Double
surviving
He's gone.
the electric chair.
You're like the it's like the Hunger Games.
Well, congratulations, brother Jack.
You all right?
Glad you're
listen,
back.
You know what? We
Yeah.
tried.
He
He
was
was,
like a double jeopardy
You
thing.
have a tone.
you know,
he was prepared to take his punishment.
he was the same paragraph.
We were only joking.
I
We
was-
weren't really going to shock you.
So
Yeah, no, of course not.
we have a little bit of news regarding our podcast, and we're going to have a meeting after this. You know, the podcast members, and we're going to discuss where we're going to go in the future. A lot of exciting stuff. But Warsaw Brother Joe, would you like to disclose what's going to be coming on?
I'd like to tease it a little bit because until we have an actual date or a date set with him, I don't want to announce the name. Just God forbid something were to fall through.
Okay.
But I did reach out to a brother who I've been exchanging messages with over the last week or so. This brother is, I would say he's famous. He's a Hall of Famer in his particular sport.
Mhm. You can disclose the sport.
He is a UFC former welterweight champion. Has also coached many other UFC champions, including Matt Hughes, Tim Sylvia, a few others.
Was he an announcer too at some point?
He was, I believe, he currently may be doing an MMA show on ESPN, as well as having his own podcast. So hopefully by Sunday we can make a formal announcement with name and everything.
Perfect.
But he is one of a few celebrity brothers that I've reached out to. And he's the first one that I've heard back from.
Let me stop you right there. For any Discordians or Discordian members watching, do not reveal,
Please.
because we
Yeah,
have
keep
made
it
it
secret.
public in Discord of who's going to be coming on. So
And we
please,
did ask our Discordians to keep it quiet.
right.
Just because, again, I want to confirm an actual date,
Mhm.
confirm that we have the technology set up.
Yeah, technology. We were trying to figure out earlier, and it just turned into just a quagmire. Like
Oh, we got
Nothing.
this. Don't worry.
we'll figure it out.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited that he actually responded.
Yeah.
And he's generous enough to say, yeah, I can't be there in person, but I'll do it via Skype or phone.
Yep,
And we're just working out the
Working out the
particulars
kinks.
of it.
Mhm.
So
Where's
very
the-
excited about that.
Where's the bottle? Would like a little bit. Thank you very much.
You're
So,
welcome.
exciting stuff.
So that's exciting. Yeah, we're going to be getting more and more guests on. My hope is also I've been doing. Joe has been sticking your probes out and
Always. He's always doing that.
But Joe you've been doing some amazing work regarding getting guests on. And again, at the beginning of this podcast, I plugged another song for those who are going to be listening to it on Apple or Stitcher or whatever your thing. I'm plugging another song from the rapper Apathy, who is a member of the fraternity. He's a rapper. He talks about it in his songs. And the song that you heard earlier in this is called The Widow's Son. I was planning on plugging this song when the Widow's Son's Motorcycle Club came up, but Carlo.
There's nothing saying we can't use it again.
Right.
Unless he says that we can't use it again.
No.
He does own the intellectual property.
He basically gave me free reign to plug anything on there, and on top of that, he also is on tour. If you go on our community page as well as our fan page, I believe on both pages. Correct me if I'm wrong if I haven't, but I put up his tour dates. He's going to be touring all over the United States. But in October, he will be coming up here, and we're going to have him up here.
It's going to be a lot of, and Masonic Rap Battle versus George.
Not doing a
And
Masonic
George
rap
can
battle.
rap.
He keeps saying that, but it's going to happen.
I have an
Will
idea
happen.
for that. We can talk about it in our meeting afterwards.
I think Puppet
Our
George should get
production
involved.
meeting.
Let's just say,
See if he can croon as well as Joe can.
first off,
I'll crew it with him.
Can you confirm that I can rap?
I can confirm that. I've heard it firsthand. Yes.
That was never in question.
In the event
Rap battle is
that you two coerced a rap battle, I have been right. I
You've
have
been
written
freestyling a little bit.
I have been writing some lyrics.
Why do I feel like there's some kind of ginger insult in there
There's
somewhere?
they're not. There will be
Yeah.
now. There will be now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
There will be a ginger joke in there now. But I have been writing some lyrics.
Those are some
words.
large balls going against a professional. Just saying.
And our worshipful master here at Morningstar Lodge, Ryan Nordstrom, said, Apathy is a great rapper, crazy lyrics. Let me know. I want to be there. That's fine by me. We are probably going to limit who's going to be up here, but I think worshipful master of the lodge takes precedence as a guest. But we'll have our normal podcast brothers up here along with him. He will get his own mic, so if you're in the back corner, you're in the back corner. Messner.
No one puts Rocco in a
Oh.
corner.
No one puts
I
Messner
thought
in
I
the
saw
corner.
Messner sneaking around.
He's floating
back there.
around there. He's here for the little meeting thing. But Mark Smith, he says he wants to come up here for the podcast. Mark Smith, worship brother Mark Smith, you are absolutely welcome up here. Just let me know. Anybody who is interested in joining, or not joining, but coming up here and recording with us, and that hasn't been up here already, that's fine. Let me know. We will schedule a time, and actually, that's one of the things we're going over in the meeting later when we have our little band of the
Production meeting. I like to call it a production.
Production
meeting.
meeting. Wow. I've
Sounds
never
so-
been in
You know
one.
what I was
Sounds
actually
so
thinking,
official.
though?
Yeah.
Does that mean we need like a big
I wanted
black
to
leather
do it.
couch
I'll be
over in the
drinking
I
corner?
wanted to do it a little
Whiskey,
different.
cigars,
I wanted to do it.
like
I wanted to do it a little different. Now, I'll explain why. I didn't want it to be like a lodge meeting where I'm banging the gavel and everything. I thought a bullhorn would work perfect and just.
Your host, George Mudry.
Everybody, shut it!
You can play the trombone.
Don't start.
Someone go out and find
You might be a little rusty,
foghorn.
but
You can just
get the hang of it.
play with.
I'm just saying, if I walk into this meeting and there's like a black leather couch in the corner, I'm walking out. Walking out. And you all know what that means.
No, but
I know.
we're gonna have a. I know it.
Everybody knows.
Today you'll be working with some vocal talent.
But we're just going to organize things again. Our podcast has gotten much bigger, especially in the last couple of weeks, where it kind of put me in a type.
Yeah.
We need to really
We need to really prepare
we need
now.
to really prepare. Like, this isn't just us just screwing around anymore. Like, we actually need to start falling to some sort of especially with the guest that's going to be coming on.
Yeah.
And
And potentially the other
potentially-
huge guest that's in town in a couple of weeks. Actually, next week.
we actually
That
have
works out.
a potential another huge guest.
necessary
That will be
level
on.
of professionalism and community management. That has
Yes,
to
we need
happen
to
as well.
really batten down the hatches and come up with a game plan of where we're going from there and who's running what. And because I've started doing it in the beginning where I passed off things to Rafferty, passed off things to Kent, Joe, and everything. I kind of started dispersing. Rocco is my, hey, I need you to rip this song off the internet. All right. No, not rip it off.
Legally.
Legally. No, but Rocco does a lot of background stuff as well. Raph does background stuff. You two do your own thing. Like everybody has a piece of this pie, because I got to a point earlier where I'm like, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Like I just can't sit here and fire off message after message.
You got a day job, you got kids, you got a family.
I drive for a living on top of that. Like, I have no problem doing the editing and all that stuff, which I really don't edit as much anymore, considering we do live. You're just going to hear it on Facebook, unless it gets really unruly, which then I obviously will, which can happen. But we've gotten to a much bigger spot, and I thoroughly enjoy the fact that people are listening on us and watching and listening to our songs and messaging us. Please message us, because we're giving out Grand Lodge links to teach people how to join Freemasonry and what to expect. And Peter Daigle up here was great. He came up here and he was basically talking about, this is, what I went through. And people were messaging saying, was it on Discord, guys? Who was saying? If somebody was like, this is amazing. Like this is what I want. Nathan.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I think
Nathan.
that was on Discord.
It was
Yeah,
cool
he
to
was
get
saying
someone
how-
directly, like straight from a degree,
Right.
right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
That was
great. So
Yeah, that level of interaction I don't think should ever go away. We shouldn't grow past that point, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. So
and it's always been our whole goal has always been to show people the real side of Freemasonry, not the Alex Jones side of Freemasonry, what we're all about. We have other major plans that me and Joe have discussed that we're going to reveal to the rest of the crew tonight, and it's pretty big. And if it
has a lot of potential.
It has a lot of potential. And
Which means Jack won't be a part of it.
as soon as he catches wind, he'll be like,
You're like Pete Best.
Yeah. That news is gonna come out. I'm gonna disappear before the
You're like,
meeting's
no, I cannot do that. Cannot compute. Yeah. Isn't that the guy that left the Beatles? Yeah.
Let's do a little more homework this time, like
Run
not
away,
like the island. I'm going there tomorrow, by the way.
Oh no, this is bigger than the island.
Okay,
this is
let's
huge.
do our homework.
If what me and Joe have been talking about ends up landing, it'll be enormous, much bigger than
It'll be Joe Norman.
then
the Joe enormous.
you.
It'll be
Well,
this podcast is already bigger than me.
the puppet's bigger than you.
So
In all seriousness, totally excited.
it is very exciting. We're moving to different ways, and again, I'm one of those people that I literally sit in my truck all day and just think of new things to do. And all of the things that I'm thinking of doing is to shed light on the craft and our brotherly love and friendship that we have, and what we're all about, and not what you read on the freaking internet. So let's talk about it. What is it? NBC is dropping?
NBC with the Dan Brown Lost Symbol series. So
Talk about
apparently
it.
it's going to be a TV series called Langdon. It's going to be a younger. It's Robert Langdon, right? Is the character?
Yes, Robert Langdon.
Yep.
Robert Langdon. It's going to be a younger version. It's not going to be Tom Hanks with that crazy haircut. But it's going to
It's kinda like yours.
follow. Mine's not. I do need a haircut. Though.
You said shorter,
We're
not
just jealous.
fashionable.
I mean, look at you. You get haircuts for half price. But it's actually going
Let
to
me tell you
cover
about-
the lost symbol. Here we go.
No. Finish it.
It's got to cover the lost symbol, which is Dan Brown book that was supposed to be made into a movie. Then it kind of got dropped for the Inferno, and now it's going to come back as a TV series. So that might really be the launch pad for what we're talking about doing, because it could get some interest in our podcast. So
When you think about it, the last time a decent Dan Brown movie came out, that was like the new renaissance in Freemasonry.
right,
A bunch of new
Yeah.
potential brothers came to the door.
And that was
95, 90.
Da Vinci Code.
No, it was later
it
than
was late
95.
90s.
Da Vinci
It was-
Code, right?
Yeah,
Like
Da Vinci
99,
Code
I
and
wanna say.
Oh, really?
sequel.
It was late. I thought.
Da Vinci Code really kicked it off.
Yeah.
That's when
Mhm.
you get a whole bunch of, young guys
Right.
that are interested in, hey,
Yeah.
what's this Freemasonry thing all about?
The other book, the second one was
Angels and
Mez
Demons.
Mez.
Angels.
The
Angels
book
and
was good.
Yeah, the movie not so much.
The movie not so much.
And then I never got through Inferno. Never got through it.
I never even read it because I read The Lost Symbol. It's cover
Great
to
book.
cover.
Great book.
Fantastic book. Amazing book. Dan Brown again. It's a fictional book, so
Right.
you
But
know,
he did seek out the advice of Freemasons.
Yes,
to
he did
get
pull a
involved.
lot of things. One of the things he pulled that I remember in the book is that the villain of the book was a 33rd degree Mason, and it's because he made a large monetary contribution.
Right.
Let me be clear: no amount of money that
No.
you can contribute is going to get you the 33rd degree.
Right.
That is a complete myth. It is an honorary thing. You have to be asked. You cannot ask for it.
And that character was a villain too, on top of it.
Correct.
I mean, those types of people generally are not the ones that are tapped for their 33rd. And when I say generally, I mean never.
And to hear more about Scottish Rite in the 33rd degree, go back to our podcast with worshipful brother Jack Farkas.
Yes.
Yep.
Let me. Joseph Schultz says Dan Brown cooks. I said books. I didn't say cooks. We're not
Oh,
starting
no,
this again.
I think he mistyped. If you look further down,
Okay. Mark Smith
I
wrote
think
it's a great cook.
Mark,
okay. I thought he was making fun of my
He's
speech.
not
I'm like,
make, not everything is
there
about
we
you,
go.
George.
But it's
my
show. Everything's
about me.
Where is your friend, by the way?
He's over in podcast timeout.
So I guess Da Vinci Code actually came out in 2006, according
Yes.
to Danny.
Wow.
Let-
The movie or the book?
Danny, you coming up here or not? Continue.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was early.
The movie
Early
might have come out
2000s.
2006.
Well, yeah, that's what he's talking about, I
The
think.
book had. I'll fact
He
check.
said the Da Vinci Code movie. Yeah.
Yes.
The book came out well before that.
Mm.
But I think it was the movie that really sparked a lot of guys coming to the door of Masonic lodges.
So, two things. First thing I'm going to talk about is my hair, and then I'm going to get back onto this show. Number one, I have a fade. First off, I had a Marine Corps fade.
That's-
that before you started that Puppet George.
That's
close to a
mohawk.
not a fade.
Let
That's,
me
okay.
It's a
finish.
faux hawk.
I had a Marine Corps high and tight, which came to about here. As the hair started to fall out, it started receding back here on both sides. Then I started losing the top here, right? So the fade over years has slowly gotten higher, so I didn't look like I had like a monk's haircut,
Like a peninsula.
like a ginger
like a map
monk's
of like a
haircut.
map of Florida on top
like
of
a
your
map
head.
of Florida, exactly.
And now you've got some kind of island thing going
Nah,
on.
no, I got it's.
Why now?
I'm
The Big Island.
Not even. Oh.
so. All right. Secondly, I have mixed feelings about the show. This Dan Brown's Langdon show. I have mixed feelings about it, and here's why. A couple of years ago, they came out with a movie called The Freemasons, and it starred
the Freemasons.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
It was
Sam
singular,
Wise.
right? The
Sam Wise
Freemasons.
the Great.
every single time. Like he was in the movie. I'm not knocking the poor guy. He does his
He
best.
made a lot of money.
But it was a B-rated.
Guy was
It
Rudy.
was a B-rated movie. Wasn't very well thought out. The quality of the movie was not very good. And every time I looked at him, all I thought about was him in 50 First Dates wearing the mesh shirt going out to his titties. Like I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
So, but
There isn't a lot of good like Masonic representation in pop culture right now.
right.
There was a show that was on for a little while. I think it's actually still on Netflix called The Order. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
Yes, I
The
started
Order.
to, but
saw
I
the
got
first
like
two
halfway
episodes.
through
The
the
first
first
two.
episode.
So it's very if you were into like Joss Whedon, Charmed, like all that stuff where like
I was
magic.
into Charmed, all right.
Very much
I was
yeah.
You're talking
Yeah.
about Buffy the Vampire
My
Slayer.
wife,
too,
yeah,
aren't
and
you?
Buffy the Vampire
Have
Slayer.
you
My
seen
wife
the
loved
show?
that
It
stuff.
reminded me of all the documentaries of the.
I know you were Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, Skull and Bones. So it's
You
basically
know the
kind
dirtiest
of a
thing ever said on television, right?
What?
Ward, weren't you a little hard on the beaver last night?
Anyway.
Continue.
So it's
Ken.
basically a blend between, I guess it's a blend between like the Skull and Bones myth at Yale University and Freemasonry, kind of.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I would agree.
But it talks about like there's a college, a small college, and there's a secret society that meets in like the basement of like their library or something like that. and it's actually called the Hermetic Order of the Blue Rose.
Huh.
So when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, Hermetic Order. Oh, this is interesting."
Right. And then you
they're
take
all,
blue,
like,
which
yeah.
is Blue Lodges, and then the rose
Now,
being a Rosicrucian.
There's no real Freemasonry that comes into play in this series. I watched the entire first season with my wife, and she enjoyed it because she's into that kind of stuff. But it's just there's a lot of like there's a lot of parallels with like Hermetic philosophy and stuff like that. Not so much with Freemasonry, except in the fact that it's a secret society. But I thought it was neat. I thought it maybe would have something to say about Freemasonry because, because of the subject matter. But sadly, no. But if you're into esoteric Freemasonry, and you're also into Joss Whedon, like magical, entertainment shows like that.
So we're gonna pause.
Take a look.
We're going to pause. We're going to plug our commercial right here. We're going to keep the live going, but we're going to pause. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back.
Does that mean I get to sing?
You can do whatever you want.
You certainly can.
We are going to go on. We're going to take our quick break. We're going to plug our commercial. We're going to open this up for listeners' questions. So while we're sitting here, please fire in any questions you may have or anything you want to talk about, and let us know. We'll continue on from there. We're going to keep the live going. We're going to pause it right here. So we will be back. I hope you enjoy the commercial.
Sorry, I spoke
Break
over
time!
you, Brother Ken. Sorry, I spoke over you before.
You didn't speak over me.
When
It's
I
usually
did my,
George that speaks over me.
When I did my ward, weren't you a little hard on the beaver last night?
Oh, that's all right. That was important. At least I heard it.
I had to get it out.
It's all
Yeah.
I have.
Sometimes my ADD gets the best.
Where's the remote?
It's okay. You got a thought. You got to get it out sometimes. I have to go pee really bad.
Can you grab me a PBR on the way back,
I can.
please? All right, here we go. Must have been cold there in my shadow. To never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way.
Got him.
Oh, God. Oh, he took his licks.
Censor!
Wait. Was that on camera, everyone?
I have no idea.
Was that on camera?
We just got a bunch of likes and laughs. Quick, blow it up.
Oh my God.
It might have been.
Mark Smith, I didn't spend it on singing lessons, if that's what you're asking. Son of a... Did you ever know?
Somebody,
that-
Joseph mentioned the Man Who Would
I
Be
think
King
you'll
was
see
a
it.
good movie.
I think you'll see it.
Joseph mentioned that movie with Sean Connery and Michael Caine, The Man Who Would Be King.
Dan the Italian wants me to keep singing. So I'll sing in the background while you guys talk. Now everybody's quiet.
I don't know if it was caught.
So I was the one with all the glory. While you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name. For so long. Beautiful smile to hide the pain.
Electronics, come in here. Oh, I don't know. I only had a communications class in high school.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Just tell me why is it not vibrating? You got it should put the prongs in. You got to come over here more. Come over. No,
It's
over
supposed to
my-
vibrate
over my-
when you
yeah, over my
squeeze.
jaw.
When you squeeze it?
Yeah. put
So
the prongs in
those
here.
two things.
Clothes on the bathroom floor.
Is it
What is
working?
this, Flophouse?
No.
Oh, I didn't get a PPR.
George wants KP duty off. Oh, I know he was going to do it.
Oh my God. Yes.
That one you mentioned about that visit from this governor. Do you have a date on that for me?
On what?
A couple podcasts ago, you said Grand Junior Warden visited in the 1850s. Do you have a date on that?
I'll find the
Thank you, brother.
And I'm looking through the first book now, and it's like
No, it's still
reading
not-
higher.
You don't have to ask me.
Which book?
That's on the thing or one?
The one that's the first volume one.
I don't know what volume it is, so I'll have to find it for you. I don't know exactly what it is.
Trying to figure out this day right now.
What else can we say?
Is that thing working yet?
I have it.
The shot collar. Can you check it?
Is that a 30?
You already shocked somebody. with it.
I didn't shock anybody. But
You can't- it doesn't work with it. Just a second
It's.
ago.
I think Jack's hands might be too thick.
I would too, but why would then you go?
It's not a vibrate.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days
Yeah. It's the vibration.
since you took your love away.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to have your hands in the contact.
Yeah, you have to have your
for
hands.
the thing.
I go out every night and sleep all day
Okay, that's not bad.
It's gotta be a
since you took your love away.
It's not vibrating.
Yeah,
It's just
Those
as
are all
bad.
conditioned.
sit on it.
It's just as bad. Would you expect it? Grab it. It's vibrating. I swear to God.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we're like trained
I swear to
dogs.
God, I'll put it on.
I really don't care. I don't.
Listen, you have doctors.
No, I'm not. No.
First two meetings are in.
Okay.
Thanks.
Very, very tough Lothian.
So it's possible.
Or why it's great George.
Check it out.
Since you've
Vibrate.
been
Grab it.
gone, I can
No,
do
seriously.
whatever I
I can
want.
It's not hurt. I swear to God, I have that vibrate. No, not even one.
I can see whomever I choose.
Yeah, I bet I do.
No, you actually do.
I already got shot by
I
twice.
know.
I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. Don't. I've got a doctor's note. Don't.
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
I
he
listened to-
legitimately
I
does
listened
that.
to 5 episodes on the train docs.
Make a noise.
Yeah.
And him screaming was what kept me awake halfway through the journey.
Who?
When I came back from Vermont, I listened to 5 podcasts.
Nothing
Oh
compares.
yeah, the light is lighting up. That's pretty cool. I'm just trying to.
Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to you.
They were doing.
The much better version by Chris Cornell.
I thought you were doing wind beneath.
I did that. You missed all that. You walked out of the room.
Hey, George, real quick.
What?
It's only 3 minutes.
Expert George. What do you think?
It's been so lonely without you here, like a bird without a song.
I ain't that stupid.
Grab the shot collar.
Mm.
Do I look like half the gullible members of our lodge?
We're pretty gullible.
I was gonna say I grabbed it twice.
I'm not-
I grabbed it. Yeah, more than twice.
I was gonna.
All the
Zero
flowers that you planted, Mama,
Are we ready?
in the backyard, but they'd only remind me of you.
Sing it, Big Red. Joseph Schultz.
Went
all right.
to the doctor. Guess
We're gonna go
what he
live.
told me.
We're going to come back
Guess
live.
what he told me. He said, "Boy, you better try to have fun, no matter what you do." But he's a fool, 'cause nothing compares.
God, you're freaking killing me.
Nothing compares to you, George.
All right, here we go.
What else you want?
Nothing.
What, we're ready to go back?
We're ready to go back.
All right. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Private concert will be later. Join Patreon. Speaking of songs, did on Discord? I hope our Discordians like the Grease parody that I did about the bounty hunter going to Greece.
Yeah,
That was some of my finest
because I had
work.
my sleeves rolled up. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Worked in the Grease musical with Country Grease to the bounty hunter thing. Yeah, the train might come by
I thought it was
about
like
that
a
time.
Frozen banana.
Freaking train comes by every time.
Same time every day.
I think we're on a schedule.
All right. So if you got,
Musical interlude over.
all right.
If anybody wants to send in a request on Discord
Oh, that's just.
for the next one, I'll.
I'm not going to sit on the shot anymore.
I will.
Go for it.
I'm not. Papa George can.
All right.
I'm
We're gonna go
super
live.
not-
Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed that commercial. The ending was, again, impromptu. I have to give it to Rocco for a very unexpected ending to that, which ended up being absolutely perfect. So
We were legitimately pissed
we,
at him.
we were
when we
legitimately
thought he let us know,
pissed
right?
off at him because we thought I told everyone, all right, we're going to do the commercial. I'm killing some mics. Me and Ken are going to do it. Your phone's on vibrate, so it's not loud. And that ending was legitimately,
You were legitimately angry.
I was
Yeah,
legitimately
it was,
angry
It was a real reaction.
because I had said, put your phones on vibrate. And when his phone went off, I'm like, are you kidding me
I
right
took
now?
a
Like,
calculated risk.
it was a very good calculated risk.
Well
I
done,
have to
Rocco,
say.
well done.
Very well done. So
You did
Dan
more
Lewis
in
asked,
those, you
where
did more in
did-
those couple minutes than Jack has done in the last 4 months.
so who coined the phrase Discordians?
I think it was Worshipful
I think it was
Brothers.
Worshipful
Joe.
I think I
Both
threw
done. I
that
think
out
you
there.
did.
Yeah.
It's a great one. And if you join Discord, we have two channels. We have one for Serious Talk that I just fixed today. I did it's Masonic information for it's those who are not, or not even for those who are Masons who are just like, hey, I got a question about this. I got a question about that. Or just people who are interested in Freemasonry
That don't want to get beat up.
that don't want to
Yeah.
get beat up.
Because we do get a lot of
Because
that.
the other one is
Yeah.
We get
and-
equal amount of real questions,
Yes.
and then
The other one is the
Nonstop.
general room, the channel that we just break balls nonstop from top to bottom. It's literally just ball busting. There was Puppet George who was put on, his face was put on.
the guy
The
taking
man
his
ripping
shirt
his shirt
off.
off. That was Randy B. It just hysterical. Joseph and Greg Schultz, I'm actually going to make their tags. I'm changing their tags. They are going to be, I have tags for everyone. So if you're an OG listener or a podcast Patreon supporter, you get different colors for your names and everything. But I'm going to actually give them their own, and they're going to be the Brothers of Destruction because they are hysterical.
Legion of Doom, Brothers in Arms.
They are hysterical. Let me tell you. So I started off, and I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of this one conversation where Joseph Schultz was writing, Worship Brother Joseph Schultz was writing, and I said, boy, you write as bad as I speak. And Greg Schultz, without even a second, jumped in and goes, he's losing his hair too. F you! But it was funny. And
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
so the next thing he said, he goes, F you. He goes, this is why you're last in the will. He goes, that's not true. You're adopted. And it went back and forth.
It's like a
And
sibling
it was,
rivalry.
it was
Parallel.
hysterical.
Discord.
So, Discord, if you want to be on there, it is funny. Yeah, Dan, you have to be a Patreon member to be Discord. Just throwing that out there. Just like $3. You spend more on a pack of cigarettes.
a cup.
Actually, he doesn't spend more because every time he comes up here, he's usually mooching a cigarette off of me. So
the
again,
money he's saving, he can use towards Patreon.
I'm just saying, it's Newport, not support.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Oh, I
and
get it.
yeah. Did you just put that up on the live feed? It says the Freemasons podcast. Worshipful Brother Joe came up
That
with
was
the
me.
terms. Oh, that was you.
monitoring it.
I'm like, this vain son of a bitch.
Oh,
Put it-
yeah. I'm the vain one.
What? Puppet George is the vain one. I also put in that somebody had asked if Puppet George was a Freemason. I said, no, he was blackballed 5 times.
Correct.
He's
He was
the
blackballed.
anti-Mason.
He's the anti-Mason. He was not.
And I don't think he'll ever get it.
He probably won't ever get in.
No.
So I'm just saying.
Oh, there it is.
And
Brother
windows
Dan-
closed.
We just clarified that the
Doesn't
train is here. I want Greg Schultz and Joseph Schultz up here for a podcast.
Yes, but we have to record.
Oh yeah,
Have to
recording.
record.
I'm recording even if they don't know it. I do that frequently. I do it with you all the time.
Yeah, I
so.
know. I know. Discovered.
But Dan 3579. If you go to the Discord link, I put it up on the podcast all the time. Just throwing it out there.
$3 a month, dude.
$3. I mean, really,
So it's a
$3.
cup of coffee,
It's a cup of coffee.
and it buys us microphones.
It's like a
It buys
quarter
us
of my hair
microphones,
product budget.
shoddy equipment, and some product for Joe.
Product for Jill. Yeah. Yeah, it helps us buy all kinds of stuff for those who are listening. It helps us buy all kinds of stuff.
So Greg Schultz noted that Puppet George does have an apron, and that is because he is
Oh.
clandestine.
He is a clandestine
He
Mason.
is clandestine.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Let's bring the little guy over
And
here.
you can tell
There he
because
comes.
it's a gibberish apron.
Yeah, it's
Slap shoddy. Yep.
so we're preparing.
No, he's
Puppet George is being prepared
donning
to,
his regalia.
He's got to get his cigarette.
yeah, his,
Light
you know,
his smoke.
He's got to smoke.
He's a
smoke while doing
prima
so.
donna like Axl Rose. He goes on when he wants to go on.
Mhm.
Where are we gonna put him?
Just come on, grab that thing that we normally put him on, and
Yeah. Stand.
No, brother Joe, Puppet George is not a past master.
Nah.
He is not.
no, he just ridicules them when he questions them.
Yeah, ridicules. I'm actually
Positions himself as
Puppet
such.
George might be on Discord pretty soon, so he might randomly just pop in and break some balls. But anyway, so back on some of the things we're going to be doing. We have a bunch of guests that we've actually reached out, people who are pretty famous that we've
Yeah.
reached out.
Definitely.
We've also reached out on a couple other avenues of things that we want to do that me and Joe had talked about. Again, we'll fill everybody in later. We're not going to talk about it now because it's kind of maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't.
It's a long shot,
It's a long shot,
but if it happens,
but if it happens,
it could be.
it will be
magical.
huge for Freemasonry as a whole.
Yes.
Because and the reason why we kind of talked about it is because Freemasonry has got a very negative light on the internet, and I thought that, yeah. I got nothing. Just looking at the live
I'm
feed.
watching the delayed feed over here. I'm just laughing at myself.
See, I have it actually current because I'm watching it right off the camera. But just want to throw, like, on the internet, Freemasonry gets a really, really bad light. And what me and Joe pretty much were talking about was to put Freemasonry on a much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Joe? Approachable, realistic
Yeah.
level. And more so than this podcast, because again, it's an audio podcast. We're looking to expand to something much, much bigger. And if it hits, it will. Our goal is to put Freemasonry on a very high level, so to speak, a much more real level, personable level, where you can see us in what we do, as well as the shenanigans and stuff
Kinda
that
like
we do.
One small step for man,
Oh my god!
Right.
one
So
really large step for George.
so we're not going to strap body cams to ourselves and live stream everything we do.
No,
Okay.
no.
Just wanted to,
Mm-mm.
I just wanted to make
So,
sure. I don't know
it'll
if
all-
I'd be game for that.
Once we go, once we shut this all down, we'll discuss it and everything. But we have very big goals for what we're planning to accomplish. And again, this is not for me. It's not for any of us up here. It's for Freemasonry as a whole to show our works.
I would think so if you're comparing it to the moon landing.
I just wanted to work in that as a really
He wanted
big
to
step
work
for
it in
George.
there.
It better be big.
Because
Yeah,
he's
he
small.
was trying to make small
Everything's a
steps.
big
Yeah,
step
I
for
get
him.
it. Actually, I broke my own balls the other day when I said that I went running, and I ran actually 2.25 miles until I haven't ran in a very
I like
long
a
time.
10:30 pace. That's
10:30
not bad.
pace. Not bad. I'm a pretty good runner, actually. For a little guy, my legs go quite fast. But
And like puppet steps, that's like 5.5 miles.
and that was the joke that I had made. That's like 5.5 miles. So, but anyway, pretty much that's all I got for this podcast. I don't think I have anything else. Do you guys got anything? I know we're only
unless
8
they
minutes.
wanted to take a couple questions.
Yeah, we're not having any right now. But,
Offline, you guys are going to have to give me some fitness tips, though,
okay.
because it seems like you guys are in shape, and like those of us,
I am not in shape.
this side of the room.
Rounds of shape.
I mean, I don't
Rounds of
wanna-
shape.
Round is
Not
definitely a
that
shape.
I just feel like we could, work
Everybody
out a
wants a
little bit
6-pack.
Boot camp.
I got a cake.
We
for
got
sex
some in there. We
machine.
got a 6-pack in the fridge. We're good.
But real quick, well, we talk about it online. What the hell? We got nothing
yeah,
else going on. Carlo blew me off, so
Wait, what are we talking about?
fitness stuff.
Oh, okay.
I actually, believe it or not, I've gained weight recently only because I kind of slacked off because I got down to a weight that was, I was 170. Oh, excuse me. I'll start off with this. A couple of years ago, I was actually 237 pounds, and I looked it. I was a big boy. There's Fat Boy George pictures that I have. I took with my kid, and I'm like,
That's
wow.
more than I weigh, and I'm 6'4".
Yeah. So for a little guy like me,
That's a lot.
go ahead, take a crack. For a short guy like me, relatively short guy, that's a lot of weight.
I was there. I was at
I was
130 or 237. My heaviest.
So I was a lot of weight, and I felt very sluggish and heavy and everything. And I used two things. First thing I did was I started running. I ran like my mama said they were magic shoes. They took me just about anywhere, so I went running.
He did it very well.
Did very well.
Very well.
I tried to hurt you,
Surprising.
Jenny. But I started running. Number one. Number two is I used an app called Lose It app, where you put in your height, weight, everything like that, and then how many pounds you plan on losing a week, and it gives you an allotted calorie counter almost. And what you do is basically you take your phone, and if you have something that has a calorie or has a barcode on it, you can actually just go boop, and it will automatically calculate that calorie. And it worked out really good for me. And I actually got down from 237 pounds. I dropped to 179, which was
That's
the
pretty
lowest
good.
I've weighed since boot camp.
Is this a free app or is this like
It's free
one
app.
of the- Okay,
You
that's-
can go
that's-
pro, and you can do water intake and
Yeah.
break down proteins and all
I
that
know how
stuff
to
and
drink
everything.
water.
But I don't drink water. I drink beer.
There's water in
It's
there.
water.
There's water and beer. There's water and coffee too.
It's
Just throwing it out
PBR,
there.
so it's fine.
But that app actually helped me a lot. And then, of course, I'm running. So when you run, you could actually add calories to your count, because if you're burning 287 calories, you can add that to your food now.
Right.
So and you can balance out. And as long as you stay under this certain budget per week, you actually lose weight. And I got down to 179, and I was trim as shit. And then once I got down that low, I'm like, well, hell with it.
I could eat anything.
I can eat a
Yeah.
donut now. I can have and then next thing I know, jump the scale, I look down, I'm like,
Gain it right back.
shit, 200 pounds again.
Yeah.
I
Does
floated.
that app have any opinions on exercise or anything, or is it just
You can actually-
straight up food?
You can calculate different exercises. It's got yoga, it's got weightlifting, it's got running, it's got walking, it's got
Sounds
whatever.
fairly
I
comprehensive.
think it even has sexual activity in the damn thing. Like,
It damn well better.
I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna start
Oh,
downloading
yeah.
it.
Pull out the phone.
It
hey,
counts.
anything's better than Worcester Brother Dan Shark is up here eating a freaking
Oh,
cucumber.
Eating his
during
cucumber
the
with
break of the
salt.
podcast.
Oh, God.
Just what are you fucking doing?
He's trying to get healthy, and the rest of us are just being schlubs up
that
here.
was still some
I
wild
commend him. I commend him.
He's
So,
still
even though
pulling
it's
out of the
really
water with that one.
Joseph Schultz said, "Stop drinking, you'll lose a lot of weight."
Yeah, he's
Never.
Never
will.
does
Just-
destroy
just-
the town.
I say just
It
start
really does.
heating your house with wood, because that works.
Sweat it all out,
Sweat it all out.
sweat lodge style.
Oh, you gotta heat yourself
I
up.
sit in a
cut
truck
it,
all day
heat
with no
yourself up,
AC.
you're
Trust
packing
me.
it.
I'm
It's
good with
like
that.
a sauna.
But that's how I lost all my weight, and this is actually good. I mean, shit, we want all our brothers and listeners to be healthy too. So
Yeah, yeah.
Lose It app was big for me. That actually helped me out tremendously.
The
Again,
Lose It app.
Lose It.
If you're looking to start running or something like that, highly recommend Couch to 5K.
Oh yeah,
That's
Yep.
it's an excellent
I think
app. If
I
you
think I
can-
use Runtastic as mine. That's one I use.
but it'll
Couch
walk
to
you
5K.
through walking for a half hour in 8 weeks. You're running a 5K.
I've heard
And
about
just slow-
that.
I highly recommend.
I'll have to check that out. It's actually
Yeah.
I'll have to
It
check
sounds
it out.
good because a lot of people who want to get to that point are starting from the couch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like me.
And you go out and you run for 5 minutes. You're like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a
It's
buddy-
discouraging.
I had a buddy that used that Couch to 5K, and he actually ran a 5K with it
Yeah.
not long after starting it.
And honestly, you really don't, with the Lose It app that I was using for counting calories, you really don't need to run all that much. You don't have to work out that much as long as you're keeping track of what the hell you're eating.
Your intake,
And
yeah.
okay,
It's primarily diet. You
It's
can't
primary-
exercise
The
away
exercise
bad
is
diet.
going to help that much
Yeah.
more.
right.
You
And
cannot
I mean,
exercise away
every
bad
single
diet.
thing you put in your mouth, put it in the calendar.
Everything.
That-
Oh.
I'm thinking like
Oh, that
a
was-
stick of gum, Altoids, a piece of candy, something like that, because it calculates all of that.
Piece of candy.
And like the chocolates that Peter Daigle came. And I want to
Yeah.
thank actually while we're live, I want to thank Peter Daigle coming up here because that was awesome.
Thank you very much.
I wish we had more time with him.
Thank you, Peter.
We had a good time with him. And he's also a Patreon as well. Oh my God.
Uh-oh, what are they saying? What
Uh,
are they saying?
Donnie, Matt Matichek says, or run away from Fairfield.
Yeah, it's one way to do it.
I don't know. Joe was talking about heading down there.
I might
tonight.
run too, Fair.
Oh my God. Jesus. We're not getting into this. We're no,
You probably
I
not.
can't touch it. I can't.
I lost
I'm-
internet access.
I will get a freaking phone call tomorrow afternoon and be like, dude, like, What the hell? We just told you to stop. And then Jack will run away.
Yep. Jack will be gone.
Seriously,
This
I
is
enjoy
why-
being back already. Don't kick me out, man.
I'm not kicking you out.
Kicking
You
you
kicked
out.
yourself out last
You're
time.
gonna kick me out
Put
by
the
getting.
collar in your hand. Put it in your hand.
I just. Ah, damn it!
Yeah, that's right. Stay with the podcast.
I hit him like 6 times.
Stay out of the cat box.
Stay out of the cat box. Don't you start. You'll be... We're doing this cat gingivitis.
Are we
stuff
going
again.
back to
Yeah,
old school
that's where
today?
he's going back to.
No, that's not what I'm going back to. That's,
It was a sneaky
it's
shot.
what I tell my dogs.
It was a
I just
sneaky
don't
We gotta be on the
shock
same
them.
page here. We got to be on the same
I
page.
thought,
here.
I thought we were.
No, we're not on it. But you know what? Now I am. I'm
All
gonna
right,
just
good.
cup it. No one's gonna ever know what's gonna happen.
Cup it.
I didn't say keister it. I said cup it in my hands.
That's what she said.
Everything has gone.
How much longer you got there? Why are you asking?
What does
Why?
that
Who's
mean?
coming?
What does that mean?
Trying to come up with
Who's that?
questions.
Does he want to drop by or something?
Who?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. How much?
Oh, Matt Jack is just
Sure.
getting ready to lose in fantasy football this year. So.
I see.
You guys are in
That's what
fantasy
he's talking
football together?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
it said beat
we
for
actually
2
sat
minutes?
at the bar last year, did the draft together. No idea we were both brothers.
Donnie
Oh
is
wow!
coming up.
He's actually
All
coming
right.
up here, so
Yeah,
you're gonna
awesome.
eat those words.
Yeah, you're gonna
probably
eat
run
those
away
words.
and never come back.
I gotta go get something out of my car. Real
Of course
quick.
I just
know.
want to say,
I gotta go to the bank.
Brother Donnie hasn't been up here since
The second
episode 2, I think.
Second podcast.
I think it's the second podcast.
Oh God! Damn it!
Oh boy, what?
I saw the spark from that.
Holy crap!
Wow, that
It arced from it.
was the.
It arced from it.
I saw that. Yeah,
Into your
the
arm.
further up your arm, the worse it hurts. Just so you know, it does get worse. The closer to the heart. My heart's on this side. I mean, you don't.
Try not to kill him.
Oh my god! Oh god, that was funny.
That
All
was,
right, I'm done. I'm putting it up now.
But this is straight fear because I'm sitting right to the left of you.
that's
So.
done. That's done.
Oh,
Wow. All right.
that's funny.
Just edit out all that profanity. please.
You're actually really bad. I think I would have been a hell of a lot worse. So,
It's done.
anyway, what else we got? Gotta keep him
I
entertained.
didn't even move.
I'm all
It's
twitchy now.
Pavlovian now.
I'm running another obstacle course race.
You
in
actually had a
September.
question not too long ago. Actually, I want to find out about it. It was on Discord. Maybe somebody could look back for me. We did have an actual legitimate question.
Put a bulb in his mouth and shock him to see if it lights up.
Did they do that on the
That's
Three
not serious.
Stooges or Little
I'll
Rascals?
do it. Give me the bulb.
All right.
Actually, it was Adam's
Knew one of
family.
those
Remember
totally
Fester?
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'll be the Uncle Fester.
Oh man.
Joseph Schultz says it's for science. It's a
So,
good excuse.
I actually did have something that was written in that was relatively funny. Joe Hatcher writes, top 5 things that will drive me up the wall. Actually, just one. Gingers in black hoods that think they're entitled to come over for supper and eat moist meatloaf in their Toyota Prius. Oh, damn! Speaking of somebody who lost weight, holy shit! Where's the rest of you?
Burnt latex.
I don't know. It smells like a senior center in here.
So we're live, just so you know.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook Live.
And we have brother Donnie up here, who's
Oh, brother Donnie.
Second episode.
what's that? You were the second episode,
Second
yeah.
episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Where the hell's the rest of you? You lost a freaking ton of weight.
You know, man.
You need to come over here and flash the guns, man. Holy
It's
shit!
80% diet.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we're up here just screwing around, and
We were actually just talking about diets.
yeah, we were literally just talking about
Yeah,
diets.
yeah.
and stuff. He's doing ketogenics.
So
Ketogenesis. Keto.
we're having. Do you know anything about electronics?
A little bit.
Show them that thing. It's not.
It
What?
should be vibrating.
It should be
but,
vibrating.
No. We have it set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already.
No.
Is this like a?
No, it should be vibrating.
Yeah, if you put your hands on the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, good try.
yeah, it should be vibrating.
You know, he was watching it on the way up here, right? Like,
Yeah, he didn't.
this entire episode.
Yeah, I was just at my parents' house in Beacon. So.
Oh, okay.
Go creeping Beacon.
Rocco's moving away. Everybody's moving away. Like,
It's strong. I'll do it. I'll do it my arm. I'll do it.
I'm like twitching every time I see his arm move now.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I gotta say, Dan the Italian is a phenom. He hold that thing and he's like,
Well, because he's
Yeah,
like,
because he's an
the
electrician. He probably does it
shocked
for the
by
fun.
many
Do it, you
times.
should put it on like your like.
Oh, that's
right
not
here.
fun.
Yeah, when I did my dogs.
Yeah,
grab the mic,
dog
grab the
fence-
mic.
Not doing that.
Yeah, when I did my dog's fence, you're supposed to test.
Thank
out
God
yourself.
you clarified that and got
Right.
close to the mic because I
did
thought
my
you said
dog, yeah.
I thought you said dog. No, I thought you said dog fights.
Oh,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
oh God, please don't put that on there.
Oh, funny story. When I lived in Waterbury, we had people all the time that would stop and try to get our bulldog, try to buy our bulldog because they wanted to fight him. But yeah, you put the
Put it
dog,
away.
you put
Put it away.
the shock collar right on your side to see how strong it is.
Yeah, they hurt.
Hurts. Oh yeah,
They hurt like a
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
We've already done a
Not
couple of
fun.
shock collar trivia things that they hurt. But so I don't know. I don't know if I even want to do it. I don't even think I want to get into it.
No, you
I don't even know if I can talk.
We,
Yeah,
I don't know if I can talk
yeah,
about it. We could do that as a
yeah.
Patreon show.
No, I don't
We
even
can
know
get
if
into
it's
it after
Patreon.
we stop
Yeah,
recording.
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
stop recording.
Which is gonna.
Tell people to Google it.
I have a lot of
So we already did.
I have a lot of questions.
I
too.
really do too.
Well, yeah. The
Nothing
minute
before
I
the
stop
cast.
the live, I'm gonna be like,
It's instant
yeah.
questions.
what the hell happened?
Everything.
For anybody who's interested, again, Google what you were told earlier in the
Fairfield,
podcast.
Connecticut, senior citizens.
I logged on like right as you were talking about that.
Oh God, yeah. I'm reading this thing, and somebody posted it in our group me, and I'm reading this. I'm like, oh man, and I'm thinking again. Anytime something gets posted in the group me, I'm like, another Mason screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and instantly I'm like, oh come on now. Like we're trying to portray Masonry in a good light and everything. Please don't tell me some Mason did something stupid.
Nope.
And then I'm reading this story. I'm like,
I would have been proud of him.
what the hell am I reading right now? So
I would have been proud of that, brother.
Oh yeah.
I would have put up the bail money for that, brother.
Greg Schultz, send the bounty hunter from Greece to check out the dog fights. I'm never going to hear the end of this.
I have
No,
to make
no.
a decision.
Just so everyone knows, I am
Although-
a huge animal lover.
Yeah.
I have 3 dogs, so
Yes.
there's nothing like that going on.
Three
So he doesn't
No.
electrocute his
I-
dogs.
Yeah, 2 bullies. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
being funny. I was being
Pit bull,
funny.
regular
I'm
bulldog.
strictly being funny. We're all, dog lovers or have dogs and everything.
We are indeed.
What was I going to say? I had something on deck.
I don't know. He walked in, and then our minds went somewhere else.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I'm on episode 46 now, and the whole the rivalry that went away. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know if it started back up
What
again or not.
rivalry?
Between you and Joe.
Battle.
But the
Yeah,
band-
it
it's
doesn't
like,
stop.
yeah, it's-
It hasn't
it-
stopped. It
Oh,
hasn't
okay, all
stopped.
right, all right.
No,
It's still
all
there.
right, all right.
It's still
We
there.
took a couple shots at each other earlier.
And you know what? Again, I've said it before. The part that pisses me off is the fact that Joe disappeared for 2 podcasts and Ken slipped right into his damn shoes.
It's the microphone.
Now I
I'm
got
telling you. It's
bounty
the
hunters from
microphone.
Greece and so.
I had good reasons, though, not unlike Jack. Like, I had the monks, and then
I'm glad you didn't burst into flames after coming back from your monk retreat.
right.
Throwing it out there.
Because I have a soul,
Kind of surprised.
at least
He
partially.
went on
Well, no, the monks are usually setting themselves on fire to
Well,
protest.
I did. I had
have.
my retreat with the monks, and then I had to take my daughter to college. So
He's wearing his cross.
who might be
So what was
watching
it,
right now?
SPF?
So
It was
shout out to my daughter Abigail Rose, who may be listening right now out in Ohio. SPF
2 billion.
357.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna say something. I can't remember what the hell I was gonna say. But
Well, speaking of like retreats and monks,
Mhm.
I was up in where was it? Bethlehem.
Fairfield Woods.
That's like town hall now.
Don't pause.
Town,
Don't
yeah.
pause. I'm telling you, it'd be the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, I was up in I believe it was Bethlehem.
Mhm.
I think so. It was up that way. But there is are they called nunneries?
Convents.
Convents. Okay.
They don't call. They haven't called them nunneries since the
Middle Ages.
maybe. Like
But their symbol on their sign was of the Knights Templar.
really.
Wasn't red; it was white and black, I believe, if I remember correctly.
White and black, yeah.
Yeah, and that was their emblem that was on the cross. Was actually on their sign. I was like, is there like a Templar monastery or something up here, or like
Was
but
white
it
was
ended up
white
being-
and black like the Knights Hospitaller?
No, white and black was the Knights Templar. The white and black, which is interesting because it's part of our mosaic floor. But the white and black, actually, if you listen to the modern Knights Templar ritual, is that the black meant that they were dark and terrible to their enemies, but the white was the innocence and purity to their friends.
Okay.
And that's where you get the black and white. Again, you can get esoteric where it talks about, duality of good and bad and everything. But realistically, they were a black and white organization. You had,
I mean,
they were
warrior
monks.
by
Warrior monks. It's a
definition,
duality
black
to
and
it.
white,
So,
right, yeah.
but-
now you see more.
And I'm
you see
halfway
a lot
there.
of people doing it in red now.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah.
Red is another.
Another-
But that cross is not specific to the Knights Templar. That cross, I guess you call it quad triangles kind of smushed together. That was around since the Sumerian time. So it's not, the Christians kind of hijacked a lot of the cross symbols from prior, civilization and everything. But yeah, that cross is still used, you're right though. You'll definitely, what the heck?
I saw it as I was going by, and I called up because me and my wife were in separate cars. I called up, and said, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" She's like, "Will you shut up already?"
That's funny. Let me see here. Daniel Lewis. You need to change your name. Daniel Lewis.
Daniel Luigi.
Luigi.
Daniel Luigi.
Yeah. Here we are again.
We're there. We go. Sometimes
We like ebb and flow. It's
you're my yang again.
I'm not touching that one. He writes,
Did before.
Joe sold his soul for the good of hair, for the good hair.
Like that blues player that sold their soul to the devil to become a blues guitarist. It's like me with the hair.
I gotta say one thing. Even in person, it is.
Is it? And this is from
It's nice.
This is coming straight. I came straight from the gym.
I had every intention
didn't
on
have
the day
a-
I came here to do up my hair and everything,
See?
but never mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad I did it. Like,
Thank you.
Joseph Schultz says, we have another brother we are trying to get him to listen. Oof.
From their lodge.
I think they mean actual brother.
So they're like the freaking Hanson brothers. They're like the freaking Hanson brothers from Slapshot. When you were talking about the two of them before, I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't that be great if there was a third and they could be like the Hanson brothers?
Hanson brothers, we think of like, bop.
No. I'm thinking the movie Slapshot. Oh my God, you've never seen Slapshot?
I'm still thinking bop. I'm just saying.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The hockey movie?
Yep.
Oh my
They were
God.
like, weren't they the enforcers on the team?
Yes.
Yeah.
They wrapped their hands up in foil. They brought their
Yeah.
toys. They were really.
So have you got up?
Joseph Schultz says there's three of them.
Oh, we've got to get all three on
All
here.
three.
God, please. I'm taking up a donation to pay for their Patreon.
We'll kick in for their
It's
Patreon.
not fair. It's
So
not 2-on-2.
No.
what episode are you up to now? You said 48?
46.
Have you got to the commercials yet?
I have not. I'm still waiting for it.
Still
Like,
waiting
that's
for
why
the
I've been
commercials.
Oh, they're
I've been
great.
powering through it all week. Like,
I just want to say
Worthwhile.
that with you're here and everybody listening, on the podcast and watching live and everything, there's one commercial that I meant you, and that was the Lodge crop duster. That is you.
yep. That's when I started. That's when I originally started the keto. Lots of protein.
All meat diet,
So
no
it's never stopped, yeah.
carbohydrates. Yeah.
And I've been doing a little bit extra fiber in my diet so that everything flows right.
Scientifically, that makes sense.
Lodge day is
So-
going to be a little extra of that.
So
Aren't you excited about coming back from summer?
Welcome
I'm
back.
sitting in
brother.
Lodge one night, right? I have to describe this, okay, just so everyone can understand that every single commercial is a personal experience that I or one of the other brothers, I'm sure brothers across, wherever have had. And we make fun of it, basically, not picking on any particular brother, but that one I was definitely picking on you. But we're sitting in Lodge, I'm doing the secretary stuff, and I keep noticing Donnie doing this. Big ass smile on his face. I'm like, what the hell is he looking at?
Oh my god! They just sat
and it sat
They're
there.
just waiting for it to get to you.
And then somebody else had smelled his putrid,
Oh yeah.
decaying insides. And Messner, I know you're touching all those old books. If you rip a page, I'm gonna beat you.
So are you like me, where you love the smell of your own?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Gotta waft
my
it a
own.
little bit. You know?
Oh, my
So
God.
somebody else who was sitting,
What meal came from that?
somebody else was sitting on the sideline near us, had smelled it, and they went,
Yeah.
and they look at Rafferty, who's the junior deacon.
Elwin was close, and now I felt bad about
They
it.
looked,
I actually felt bad
but they
about it.
looked at whoever it was. I think it was you might be right, might be El, but he looked at Rafferty and gave him the turn on the fan thing. I'm like, you better not! I swear to God. And oh man, and we literally, and then it was like, and let me, in your defense though, I don't know if you ate it, but downstairs we do the porchetta.
Oh yeah.
And there was one time where I was sitting there at refreshment, and I'm just like a
You mean
grenade. I'm like,
downstairs? Are you talking about like?
Put to refreshment! Like,
Are you talking about
And I had
downstairs
to
at the?
pull out that
Jimmy's
door.
on the
Jimmy's,
Yes.
so-
He makes fantastic porchetta, but it's so like rich and good and greasy. It's fantastic. It's not bad, but make sure you only live 5 minutes away
Yeah.
and you're in a comfortable space, you know, and you're not going out afterward.
We really don't have this problem at our lodge. I
Oh,
don't know if
Oh, you guys
do.
are. Oh, because you guys are
That
gentlemen.
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're gentlemen.
We just don't have
No.
anyone to really
Joseph
Just don't eat
Schultz.
porchetta.
Yeah, the porchetta downstairs
Room
at
and
Jimmy's
lock
is
ourselves
Oh, that,
in there.
that
Yeah,
meal
that's
downstairs is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes fantastic porchetta. But Joseph Schultz says, any more ghost stories from the lodge? Ooh, ghost stories.
Nope.
No. It's been relatively quiet.
All
They
summer
take a
we've been
break
up
through the
here
summer as well.
late at night. We haven't had
No.
any.
They went
Actually,
Jim.
while we're on this, I just want to add that actually fill your cannons, brothers.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's getting late in the night for this.
Think
thing.
I-
That's all right.
Know where
One
you're
more.
going.
One toast. One toast. Nothing crazy.
Brother Michael Alchin just woke up.
Whoa, Michael Alton.
G'day, brother.
How'd that State of the Origin Cup thing work out for you?
Don't start. Don't start breaking balls.
Why, you just woke up?
Hey, he signed on. He's gonna sign right back off.
No,
he's not. He's like,
fine.
I ain't dealing with this.
This is
freak.
already talked
about
Wait, is this the guy from New Zealand?
This is the
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the guy from New Zealand.
No. Not Lucy. Oh.
I know. It's all
So in Discord
He's
or
amazing.
on the community page, expect his return
Oh,
fire.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
He's a good guy. I like Michael a lot.
Ghost stories. Haven't had anything up in here lodge, but I want to say that brother John McManus actually was in the hospital this week. He had an issue with his hip, and I had been in communication with his wife about him, and he was discharged from the hospital today.
great.
With a
Good
good
to hear.
deal of health. So I want to give him a toast. So,
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
brothers, right hand arms.
To arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire. Good fire. Fire off. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat.
Glad you're home, brother John.
Get well, brother.
Yeah, he's doing better. He's on his way home. He
Make
got
sure
discharged.
Diane's taking extra well care you. You know, a couple
Yeah.
back rubs. You know.
Michael Alchin said, "Get some new material, Joe." Actually, that was
I
done.
did. I ordered a new South
Yeah, I
Wales
think I was
jersey
one
the
that
other
started.
day. So.
I'll in Joe's defense. So.
We are running a little low on material.
Yeah.
To rehash things a little bit.
So, all right, we're gonna shut this down. We've
Oh,
had
thank
enough
God.
fun, I think, for the night. So, for the Freemasons podcast, I am your host, and I promise you, Carlo Cugino will be up here at some point if I have to drag him kicking and screaming to talk about the widow's son. Jack's gonna just duck out and hide. Like
We'll throw him in the
last
back
time.
of a van or something.
I
We'll
can,
get
I
us
can
in.
feel that Grand Lodge is on its way down here now. I'm just going to go with my car.
out of here.
When's Carl coming up?
Jackson
Knock.
He was supposed to come up today.
Let
Just
me
break-
know when he's coming.
I'm
up.
breaking his
definitely
balls.
I'll definitely try to be here that night.
just breaking his balls. He actually got stuck at work. He was working on a bridge. I think he works for the DOT, right?
No,
No,
he's
he's
doing
works
metal.
at a machine shop.
Yeah, but she's shot.
Machine shop. either way, he was going to come up tonight.
Motorcycle season, man.
Yeah.
It's
But he apologized. He said we'll definitely hook up again. So I will have him up here because I want to do a whole episode on the Widow's Sons Motorcycle Club, and we'll move on from there. But for tonight, for the Freemates podcast, I'm your host, Right Worshipful Brother George Marjorie, signing off.
Worshipful Brother Joe signing off.
Worshipful Brother Ken signing off.
Worshipful Brother Jack signing off.
For good.
brother Donnie.
Brother Rocco.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Now keep in mind we're still
We're still
live.
live.
You're still live.
We're still going out over
Oh, boy.
Facebook. Just so you know, Michael Lawson.
So
I
anyway-
love you.
Mike's
Thanks for telling me that.
Get that action.
Oh,
Rory
man.
James just signed on. Sorry, brother. We're all on it. And have a good night, everyone.
Yeah,
Take care.
rewind. It's worth
So is Brother Jack like a narc from GL? like
I'm so glad that I didn't hit the end button yet.
like 21 Jump Street, but different?